Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back your lovely faces to a brand new video here on the channel. Well, today we're going to be talking about this. I did a quick 60-second video yesterday on the shorts regarding this, and I just put a few things out there. But what I want to talk about today is that there's actually a New York Post article that has come out recently with a few little things in it. There's also one thing I want to mention regarding it because, well, it took two journalists to write this article, and the one part I've got at the end, which I've literally cut and pasted from the website itself, just so it doesn't look like I've doctored anything. And let's just say the people who wrote this article, they are not fan of Johnny Depp 100%. So we're going to jump straight into it. So obviously, Pirate 6 was supposedly happening. So, shiver our timbers, Johnny Depp is allegedly back. The Pirates of the Caribbean actor is rumoured to be reprising his role as Captain Jack Sparrow in the movie franchise 5 years after the last film, Dead Men Tell No Tales, was released. However, Depp's team is halting ye old rumour mill, as a source close to Johnny is debunking the report to the New York Post. The return of the booze-slinging captain reportedly is in the works, with Johnny Depp, 59, allegedly scheduled for a test shoot in February here in the UK. According to The Sun. That's your biggest problem right by there, you're believing The Sun. The current working title inside is dished to the UK outlet is A Day at Sea. Johnny is set to return as Captain Jack Sparrow and is scheduled to start filming at the beginning of February at a top-secret location in the UK. The source told The Sun, adding that the project is in the early stages and even lacks a director at the helm. All the other details are being kept under lock and key. The whole project is shrouded in secrecy, and Disney wants to keep everything under wraps as best they can. The insider added, claiming Bruce Hendricks will be the executive producer. Well, he was executive producer on the other one, so I kind of assumed they would be back, like Jerry Bruckheimer and a few others. Now, Disney did not immediately respond to a request for comment from the Post, which is interesting because we've talked about this in the past ourselves, and I got a spot and it really hurts. And yeah, so we've talked about this, you know, Disney during the actual court, during his deposition, he was like, not for 300 million and a million alpacas, I'm not going to go back. And everyone took his word for it because, again, the only people who actually stood up for him is Jerry Bruckheimer. And we saw exactly what, what Johnny said about certain producers. And he thought he was yellow of him because literally a couple of days after she posted her op-ed, that came out saying, yeah, we're not moving forward with him. And obviously a few other things came out. There's been so many things recently. Again, she's claiming in her court case at the moment is that it may have been a oral agreement and all this kind of stuff for her to be covered from the insurance company. Well, if that's the case, if that's what she's using, then Johnny can still use the I lost 22.5 million because there was an oral agreement and they shook hands and everything else for a Pirate 6. But when you go to The Sun, and of all places, it's that shit rag, you know? They're the ones who literally called Johnny Depp the word, which is why he sued The Sun in 2020. Again, he lost that one, but again, there was no evidence. All the evidence that she brought forward to this one as well. And it's like, yeah, no. Nothing happened. And when you've got so many people and so much evidence going on your side saying, I didn't do any of this stuff, she's the one who did all this. And especially when you've got evidence where she claims, she's actually admitting on tape, you weren't this. Oh, don't tell me you were this. Stop being a baby. You weren't this. I did this, but you weren't this. Trying to not say those words because my last video got flagged just for saying certain little words, which those words were in that little sentence. But going with all of this, I don't think it's true. Not at the moment. Unless Disney come out and actually explicitly state themselves, here we go, Johnny's back with us, then I'll believe it. Because when you're When your exclusive news breaking outlet is The Sun, no. It's just a big fat no at this moment. And, you know, don't get me wrong, it would be nice to see him back, but it'd be huge. I really do think that. It would be one of the biggest movies ever. I think it would $1 billion easily. But with the article, like I was saying, a couple of the people, you know, 2 journalists who wrote it, one of them or 2 of them have said this. So, they've put down a little a statement from Women's Aid, which Women's Aid is saying, when someone is accused or found guilty of this, it is important that all employers take this seriously, and that includes employers in film and TV. I understand that. I agree with that. When this is swept into the carpet and quickly forgotten about, it sends a dangerous message that it is not that serious. Now, I agree with that. But Johnny Depp has gone out there. He took her to court. He had all his witnesses. She had all of his. And even her witnesses stated, yeah, we never seen him do anything like what she said. You know, there was none of the physical stuff happening or anything. So it's like, yeah, okay, so why are you all saying and agreeing that it did happen when it didn't? But as you can see, despite the star's troubled past riddled with allegations, how is it riddled with allegations? This is the only person, her, who's actually come out and said horrible things about him. Remember now, Paul Baresi, the private investigator, he went back 4 decades. He covered all of Europe, obviously UK, America, everywhere. People who Johnny Depp has worked with on all the films, which again, there's at least 20 to 30 films, and every single person was like, yeah, he was great. And the ones who didn't want to talk, they said, oh no, I just don't want to talk about it, you know? I'm not that kind of person to dish out stuff. And in his findings, he found a lot of horrible stuff about her and her family. But, you know, when he says riddled with allegations, what, by this one person and her little group of friends who are not her friends anymore, because if they were her friends, they would have been in court, they would have done live testimony, but they didn't. But it goes on to say, his devout fans won't place a bounty on his head. In fact, the polarizing trial seemed to deepen their love for the man behind Sparrow, and they might even take up the arms for him. Depp apologists. That word there, apologists. This shows that the people who wrote this article are on her side 100%. And looking at the 2 people who did write this, yeah, they write about TikTok trends, yay, and all this kind of stuff. So it shows you what type of mentality they have. And, you know, they lined the courthouse block, camping overnight on the ground just to catch a glimpse of their favourite buccaneer in court. Die-hard fans spend thousands on flights and travel expenses just to snag a front row seat, while others supported Depp online by spamming AH's witnesses with this. Her fans did the same. Have you noticed they're not adding what her fans did? You've had her fans who are plastering all the cars in the car park and the parking lot areas with flyers in support of her. They're not saying that, are they? You know, that was brought up in court. Because, again, that could be swaying people's judgment for the jury and everything. There's so many things. This article is just, it's just funny, you know? But I'd like to say, at this moment in time, I do say he's not coming back at this moment in time. And if it does happen and he is in it, great. I will watch it because I do like the Pirates films. Even number 4, which is not that great. But ladies and gentlemen, if you are new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell for future updates. And I'll see each and every one of you soon.